Casagrandes, and welcome to Toon Corner. And today we'll be doing a cartoon battle between two Nickelodeon animated shows that evolves around a large family. This is The Loud House versus the Casagrandes. For this challenge, I will be choosing which show I believe is the best, based off of the episodes, the characters, and the humor. So, let's get started. Round 1. The episodes. When The Loud House first started, the episodes were pretty good. And then there were some episodes here and there that were, like, very badly written. I mean, they were like the episodes I would say watch at your own risk. But as the show continues on, the episodes have actually gotten better and better and better and better. While the Casagrandes, on the other hand, they've actually have made lots of good episodes. I mean, I personally believe that the episodes were really well written. So, with that being said, I'm giving round 1 to the Casagrandes. Round 2. The characters. When The Loud House first started, some people in the audience have criticized a little bit when it came to the characters. The most common I would hear is that the Loud sisters are basically character stereotypes, which, okay, I totally get it. I mean, one of them is basically Velma Dinkley with a speech impediment and is as tall as Yoda. But how I would respond to that criticism is that it all depends on how the characters are portrayed. And then the other thing I actually would hear about the most when people criticize the characters is that they would probably say, "Oh, the characters are so unlikable," or "Oh, the characters are so unredeemable." Now, my response to that is that it kind of takes us back to round 1. And it depends on the episodes. So, for example, there was an episode where Luann pranked her family so hard that she basically ruined their lives. That is an example of a bad episode. It was poorly written, like very badly. And when you have a badly written episode, that means that your characters are poorly written out. They aren't written out so well. So sometimes it's one of those scenarios where if you have a bad episode, then there is a good chance that you would have poorly written out characters. But luckily, the characters have actually gotten better. I mean, the Louds basically went from fighting and yelling at each other, to actually supporting one another. And then meanwhile, when it comes to the Casagrandes, I actually enjoy all the characters except one. And that is their pet parrot, Sergio. He's pretty much a unredeemable character. I mean, there actually has been times when he has caused a problem and he is all like, "Rah, sorry, not sorry." And so, with that being said, I'm actually going to go ahead and give round 2 to the Loud House. Round 3, the humor. I have to admit, when it comes to the Loud House, I think they rely too much on toilet humor. I mean, true, they do have some slapstick here and there, and also some funny scenarios, but there actually has been times when they would actually use toilet humor in scenarios where toilet humor is not really necessary. While the Casagrandes, on the other hand, pretty much like the episodes, the humor was written out really well. I mean, basically, to describe the humor in the Casagrandes, you basically got a funny scenario sprinkled with slapstick on top. And so with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and give round 3 to the Casagrandes. All right. After looking at the scoreboard, as well as doing some simple math, the final score for the challenge is 1-2, the Casagrandes. For the Loud House, I mean, basically, when it comes to the Loud House, the early seasons of the show is basically something that I would recommend you guys check out, while the later seasons of the show is actually something that I totally recommend. While the Casagrandes, on the other hand, is actually a show that I totally recommend. And the question of the day is, which show do you enjoy the most? The Loud House or the Casagrandes? Just let me know in the comment section down below. Feel free to leave requests. And I'll see you next time in Toon Corner.